Hi, my name is Zainab Ahmed. I'm microbiology instructor at Natural and Behavior Science. I'm here today with our creative instructional designer and my collaborator, Karen Sorensen. We are going to talk about our OER project concept cartoons. These cartoons are designed to use in asynchronous microbiology lab as well as in-person labs. We've been working on this project for almost a year. We have finished 6 concept cartoons so far. We call them micro concept cartoons. These cartoons focus on biochemical tests because these tests are among the most important methods for microbial identification. In each semester, I have some students who struggle understanding the concept of these experiments. So create these materials to help the student with conceptual challenge to learn the concept and the technique in a fun and a simple way. Before I go deep in details and tell you about the key ingredient of this project and how I use them in my class, I would like to talk a little bit about what are concept cartoons and what is the story behind this pedagogy. Concept cartoons are a visual representation of science idea. They are simple cartoons characters arguing about different topics in science. The discussion will help the student identify their misconception and think differently about the problem. What I like in this activity is the number of alternative conception, which can be diagnosed through student discussion and student questions. In addition, this activity enhances student engagement and connection.
Yeah, I never knew that concept cartoons were an actual pedagogical technique before working with you. I just thought they were fun and engaging, but it never occurred to me that they were a researched pedagogical approach.
Yeah, actually, there is many research about this pedagogy, and the first time I heard about it, I was taking online classes with Zurich University, teaching science at university, and concept cartoons was one of the tools that suggested for students who had a conceptual challenge to help them understand their materials.
It's
And
wonderful.
yeah, and this is why I started using them in my class. Okay, so let's know how we can use concept cartoons. They are easy to use in a classroom as a part of a normal teaching because the idea transmitted through cartoons are easily understood, fun, and engaging. Instructor can use it at a different stage of the lesson, at the beginning of the lesson to get a student to tune in, as an active learning to let the student sharing their opinion and generate discussion, or as a means of summarizing the topic at the end.
Well, and I like that they can also study these on their own when that it's in addition, it's a form of review.
It's true. At the beginning, I thought I will use these slides as a review for my class. But when I see the benefits of using these concept cartoon, I start to use them as assignments. Okay, so monitoring student consumption is hard to do in remote environments. So we made concept cartoons slide for each biochemical test, explaining the experiments. In this slide, the student will read the experiment as a story or a mission, and a Bitmoji avatar guiding them to their task as an instructor. The story we use is exciting mystery stories to increase the students' interaction. In addition, micro-concept cartoon includes hands-on activity, which allow the student to do experiment by themselves, learning the technique by using cartoon figures. And this is my favorite part, of course.
Well, and I learned the technique of the mystery stories from Dr. Carl Kopp, who spoke at our distance learning conference last year. And I enjoyed adding the Bitmoji avatar of you because I feel like it gives a little bit of instructor presence in the video and a little fun for students to see their teacher as a Bitmoji.
Exactly. And we also add some question at the end of the slide as an exposing event. That helps the student expose their conceptions about a specific topic. Moreover, concept cartoons can link with discussion board to stimulate discussion and enhance the student questions. As well, it creates sense of purpose and it provides a starting point for investigation and inquiry. These are our 6 micro concept cartoons slide. You can see that each slide has a different story about a certain experiment. Each time Karen and I talk about how we build these slides and what cartoons character we want to use to motivate a student thinking and to create engaging environments.
And we still adhere to, good pedagogy with including learning outcomes as sort of the mission, the outcomes of the mission. And Dr. Ahmed includes things like the methodology. So we address those things up front.
Here is one of the experiment called catalase.
Hi class, welcome. Today we are doing the catalase test in lab. It has nothing to do with cats though. Sorry kitty, but we need to get to class. Click on the next button to get started.
Okay, so you can see here that we add interactive and humorous idea, which is very important to get a student attention. And actually, I like how she linked the word and the voice of the cat with the name of the test, catalyst. Now here is another experiment, lysine decarboxylase. So the slide starts with a mission from ZA Laboratory INC. The slides walk the student through the principle of the test and their assignment, which is identifying unknown bacteria that have the ability to produce lysine decarboxylase enzyme. Each time the student clicks on a certain cartoon figure, it guides them to a new or a different instruction. Starting with lab safety, where a student needs to put on their lab coat and gloves, to the procedure where the student learn how to do the technique. Inoculating the bacteria, providing an aerobic condition, and finally incubate the tubes. The analysis slide explains invisible biochemical reaction in the tube and the pH indicator role in changing color based on fermentation product. Now, mission accomplished when the student finish all these slides, know the result, and answer conceptual question, which is either going to reward them by cherishing their efforts, or if they missed it, it will send them back to restart the experiment from the beginning. I like what you did in these slides, Karen.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and I like how you appreciate things like the initial attention grabbing and the follow-up questions to verify understanding. And so it was a great collaborative effort between us.
Yes, I think it is. Now, in the end of the semester, I run a survey for my student, asking them what you think about this activity. And students like this activity because they can watch them at any time, convenient for them to learn and practice microbiology. Their feedback was very supportive. They comment that concept cartoons help them understand their lab materials, and these cartoonish materials are clear and easily to grasp than read them in a textbook. They describe concept cartoon as a hands-on activity, interactive, and thought promoter. And that's what encouraged me to keep using concept cartoon in my classes. And also I'm gonna use it in my face-to-face classes in the future.
I've used now it for other subjects, English and math. So not just, I don't think it has to be just science that uses them.
It's true. There you can use concept cartoons in English, in math, in history. So there is in economy. So there is many topics that you can use concept cartoon. Okay, so we reached the outcome of using concept cartoon as OER resources. And of course, to make these materials free and accessible resources for the student and the instructors. Also, it's good opportunity for the instructor to try something new in their class and see how it's going to work, and to practice creativity to enhance student engagement and connection with the topic. The idea of using concept cartoons in a class is improve student learning and elicit misconception by stimulating discussion. So making this slide available on OER will give the student an option of watching them as many times as they want. They can access these materials at any time and wherever they are to understand the concept and to learn the technique. In addition, presenting these materials in a simple, fun, safe, and humorous way to explain science make them a good materials for the instructors to use them in the class as a formative assessment, problem-based learning, and peer learning activity to enhance student critical thinking. Finally, I would like to thank OER for giving us an opportunity to talk about concept cartoons, and for my friend Karen. I enjoyed your collaboration together and productivity. I learned many things from you. And I like all the technique you used to build this slide.
Well, thank you. It was a real honor to work with you and to really learn the strength of concept cartoons. I didn't really understand that before learning from you the pedagogical approach to using them. So I've learned a lot from you too.
Thank you so much, Karen. And I think we nailed it.